I'm finishing up a book called, at the moment, What You Don't Know About Charlie Outlaw. It's a book about television actors, one of whom is recently famous for starring on a medical drama, and the other of whom was a cult star in her 20s and has struggled to attain the level of fame that she had then again. So the Charlie Outlaw, who's the guy on the medical drama, has screwed up in an interview. He said some things that upset his fans and that upset the other main character, Josie, who is his girlfriend but breaks up with him in the wake of this interview. And when the book begins, he has gone on a kind of vision quest, solitary journey to get away from all of the internet attention, and he gets kidnapped. And the book follows him through that experience and through Josie trying to figure out what's happened to him. So I think a couple things brought me to this idea, and one was just paying attention to our culture's fascination with actors, with what they do, but also with their personal lives, and the way that that fascination is really magnified through the internet. And then the other was that I read an interview with Benedict Cumberbatch where he told this story about being carjacked when he was on location for something, and being held at gunpoint, and they tried to put him into the trunk of a car. And I was really struck by that, because we so seldom think about those kinds of events intruding on the lives of the rich and famous, that it really stayed with me, and I think that's what led to this idea of an actor being kidnapped. I did a lot of research for this book. It was really fun research to do. I didn't know all that much about the daily life of an actor when I started. I was lucky to have access to people who were able to allow me to do this research. And one of the things that I did was go over to CCM and watch acting classes. I watched acting technique classes, and I watched stage combat classes. So I really got a sense of how actors were trained, and I put some of that history in one of the characters. The other thing I did was go out to LA and visit sets. I visited the set of a crime procedural and the set of a cable drama, and this set and two different sitcom sets, and I got to watch the filming in front of a studio audience of a multi-camera sitcom, and I got to watch auditions, and I got to interview a number of actors, and all of that was fascinating and incredibly useful for the book. The actors in particular had a lot of insight into not just how they do what they do, which I found fascinating, but also the way that doing what they do shapes your personality, or the kind of personality that goes into acting, and the way they juggle the media attention and the internet attention. And then I had decided at some point that because one of my characters had been a cult actress, that I wanted to write a scene set at Comic-Con. And I tried to get tickets to Comic-Con, but I failed. So I was lucky to find two actresses who had been there as part of a cast on a panel, and one of them sent me her itinerary, which was really useful. But I found that I was really wanting to know the specific details of that experience, like what did they give you for lunch, and what was in the lunch, and so it was great to be able to find people who could tell me those things.